Okay, so in this tutorial here, we'll be looking at using a carbon dioxide gas sensor. Just like before, we're actually not connecting our carbon dioxide sensor directly to a GLX device. I have this connected here to a Bluetooth Air link. Via Bluetooth, this is now connected with my iPad, which has the Pasco Sparkvue app open. Just like before here, we're going to click open into sensor data. Again, it's going to do a quick search of other additional Bluetooth devices. You can actually hook up multiple Bluetooth devices to the same sort of Sparkvue program here. Just make sure the one that is currently connected here has the right number, 825592. So that's a good match with this one here. This is a smart device, so it should be able to sense what sort of sensor we have here. So it's plotting directly CO2 concentration. As we play around with the different templates here, depending on what you want to see, let's say this time I just want to see the graph of it. So I'm just going to put the graph button there. You see that it's already set up for me here. It's going to be CO2 concentration. We see the units currently in parts per million. We see the sampling frequency here. It's at 1 Hertz, so it's going to sample 1 increment for every second that passes by. Just to demonstrate this a little bit here, I have 50 milliliters of vinegar sitting here. As I add in baking soda, we know that that acid-base reaction generates carbon dioxide for us. We're going to actually have to lift up this carbon dioxide sensor. You see this sort of rubber stopper at the top here. We actually prop this up over top of the Erlenmeyer, try to seal it off, and actually that way we can measure the CO2 concentration that's actually being released. So we'll just do that in a second here. So to get my baking soda ready, because this just produces one gas, we can do this as a sort of rate study here. Okay. There's going to be a little bit of a time gap for me to drop it in and then prop the sensor on top, okay, but that's going to be part of our experimental error. When we're ready here, I'm just going to drop that in. So baking soda here into the vinegar. Okay. It's going to be bubbling away here. I'm going to seal that off, and I'm going to press the start button. Okay. And that one there should be able to track for me the increase in carbon dioxide concentration as time goes onwards. So give it a second just to get a sense of the baseline here. As that carbon dioxide starts bubbling away here, we should be producing more carbon dioxide. Okay. There is already carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Okay. But definitely this reaction here is generated a little bit higher than what we had before. Okay. The first initial blip here could have been just maybe I had a little bit of a loose seal. Okay, it wasn't actually tracking the carbon dioxide inside the Erlenmeyer. Okay, we saw that as it was bubbling away, the CO2 concentration goes up from the baseline. Okay, and I noticed qualitatively here there aren't that many bubbles left over, so the reaction is pretty much stopped, which is why the CO2 concentration is pretty much either leveled off or escaped off. Okay, and we'll get a sense of the baseline. We could track that increase in parts per million for CO2 in time for a rate study. Okay. Anytime you need to rescale or whatnot, you can press on these 4 arrows here. But that graph there looks pretty good. Okay. Thanks, guys.